welcome to another DORKLAIR Disney live stream. With me is my friend Eric, who both of us have recently gone to Disney, and we're here to like kind of debrief, talk about our trips and all that stuff. How you doing, Eric?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I went to Shop the Curiosity yesterday, which was pretty crazy. It was like super packed early, like almost too busy, which is great for all the vendors, you know, for Nicole who runs the show, for the studio who had tables there, and the other vendors. Valaverse was there. Like it was great, but like when you're just trying to walk around and see stuff, it was packed tightly, and just a lot of people getting in each other's way. But the curation of the tables is phenomenal. Like it is just pure vintage, you know, pretty much 70s, 80s, 90s, and the early 2000s, like just all straight up toys, um, video games, trading cards. Like it's all pretty much every single table is vintage, aside from like the handful of people making stuff right now who were there, like the Horsemen. There was another small like vinyl company there. I forget who they were. Um, I think there was a company that there was, you know, Chris was there, D13 was there, Valaverse, like I said. But aside from like a handful, it's just all that stuff. Like I even heard that Damien was trying to go and she wouldn't let him because like D Blake makes, because she felt like it just didn't fit. I kind of think it does fit because it's like, it's all the logos of all that stuff,
For sure, yeah.
but it kind of, I kind of understand why she didn't, like why she doesn't open up that kind of like aspect of it, because she just wants this to be like pure hunting for those vintage things, people hunting to like complete their sets of things, people hunting for like cheap ass little things like the
That's
old
awesome.
Alf Tales Wendy's toys that I picked up two of those.
Nice.
I got the hoods, Robin Hood and Little Red Riding Hood.
I definitely had the Little Red Riding Hood one.
Yeah. And then, you know, like all the way up to like my friend Jeb was buying, just wheeling and dealing for graded, loose but graded Kenner, Star Wars Kenner figures, which are insane. I mean,
Yeah.
he must have had like 5 or 6 in his hand, and they were cutting deals and stuff. And it had to have been like
Oh
$3,000
wow.
worth of figures, like just 4 figures or whatever the heck it was. You know, it's
That's
just
crazy.
crazy. I did pick up a couple Kenner figures. I got a replacement Chewie because mine has always had this like hole in his chest. So I got a Chewie, and I got a Hammerhead because I actually
Nice.
don't have Hammerhead. That's my show where each year I go and pick up 2 or 3 to just kind of chip away, even
That's
though
cool.
I know I'm never gonna complete it. I don't have any of the last 17.
That Hammerhead is the only vintage Star Wars toy that I have.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. It's
he's on my shirt actually.
oh
Nice.
yeah. I really like them. They were before my time, but like
Yeah,
whenever I see like, like close to me is Toy Department down in Cincinnati, and they always have this lit glass case that's just got them lined up, like, and it looks like something out of a museum. And every
yeah,
time I see that, it makes me want to collect those vintage Kenner Star Wars, but I don't. I never had them when I was a kid, and I don't know, but they just look so cool in a display.
yeah, yeah. I definitely regret not kind of like going hard on it earlier, like 10, 15 years ago or something.
Mhm.
Um, even like a year or two ago, the prices were low, but the prices seemed really high this year.
Yeah. Well,
And it's
especially for
just,
graded ones too.
oh yeah, yeah. But I mean, everybody, there were like bins of beaters like these. You know, there were
Mhm.
people with bagged complete ones that are not perfect, but they're just complete. You know, and they're like kind of regular price or whatever. And then there's all the way up to graded. There's carded, graded, like everything you could, any like level of that vintage Kenner you could be hunting for is there at the show at multiple tables. You can shop around. I was kind of hunting for a Farm Boy Luke, which is kind of absurd. It's like $100 now. to have a complete one with the lightsaber complete and stuff, which is insane to me.
Yeah,
And I
that's
was
a lot.
kind of debating it. I was like, I saw one for 85, yeah, but I was able to hunt around, and I saw one for 85. It was maybe a little less perfect than the $100 one I saw. But I didn't end up buying it because I spent a little. I bought a couple extra of these legendary warriors.
Nice.
So the line was pretty crazy when it started, but it got through, and then at I don't know a few hours in there was no line, and
Wow.
you could just keep going up and buying these.
Awesome.
So the supply was solid there. It's
That's
a small
good.
show, so it makes sense that they might have extras, but
My daughter just went and grabbed this because she heard us talking.
oh, nice.
It's my Power of the Force, late 90s,
Yep.
or I guess mid 90s, right? Hammerhead.
Yeah, totally.
I have been collecting.
Do you have a lot
those.
of Power of the Force?
I used to, and then I sold all of it like maybe 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But here recently, I've been getting back into it just because you can get them so cheap. And
Yeah.
I'm not, I don't feel like I'm super driven by nostalgia, but maybe I am. But with these, like, there's something super nostalgic about it. Like, so I've been picking up the just the orange carded Power of the Force.
Yep.
And I'm only missing like 2 of those now.
Nice.
But you can usually grab them for like $4 or $5 a piece, so it's just fun for me. But I grabbed a few. The last time I was at Toy Department, I got a bunch of extras for like $4 just to open and like mess around with. And Hammerhead was one of them. He's one of my favorites.
That's a line where you can buy vintage. I mean, I know that people hate calling Power of the Force vintage, but at this point, we're talking 90s, right?
Mm-hmm.
These are in the mix with a lot of the other vintage figures that are all out in those bins and stuff. But you can, like for example, the Star Trek Playmates figures, same kind of idea where you can just as easily buy them sealed and open them up and just have like fresh figures. It's not much more. It doesn't cost much more to just buy them fresh.
I think it's fun too. It is. It did kind of take me back opening a handful of, early Power of the Force 2 figures.
Yeah. I was in college and I picked up a couple back in the day. Like as soon as I saw the expanded universe ones, that was when I was like, oh my God, I got to get a couple of these.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked up I think I picked up Luke and Thrawn. I can't remember which ones. I had a couple of them, but I wasn't really collecting. I was just so into Magic that any extra money I had was going to Magic the Gathering. So I didn't really start collecting till a lot later.
Those figures hit me pretty hard. Like when I was growing up, my dad was a big Star Trek fan, and he always was like, you don't need to watch Star Wars. It's not very good. He wasn't like, I hate Star Wars, but every time it came up, he's like, it's not very good. So I never watched it. And then when the special editions came out, I was like 11, 12 maybe. And I had like stayed the night at a friend's house. And the next day, like we woke up and his dad was like, we're going to go see Star Wars. And I was like, all right, cool. And we saw Return of the Jedi. And like ever since then, I was like super hooked, and Power of the Force 2 was out. And like for like the next 4 or 5 years, I didn't do anything if it didn't involve Star Wars in some way.
Yeah, nice. So that was like when they re-released them on the big screen. Is that what?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Man, I remember though. I like that. Those events were so fun. And again, I was in college. I was at UMass, and there was the Hampshire Mall, and I just remember just going to those and people lining up, and you had to get tickets and line up and get a good decent, like there was no like seating charts or anything. You had to just get there early, and so those were fun times waiting in those lines. But yeah, I noticed that Ben is here. Let's go through the chat a little bit. Ben, I saw him yesterday, and he donated a bunch of Glyos. So I think today would be a good day to do a giveaway.
Oh, awesome!
Some Glyos. So let's do. He kind of did some themes. I have some golden. Yeah, I think that's all. You know what? Let's do this. Since we're talking Star Wars, So he donated the
Oh,
Stormtrooper
nice.
colored, the infinite fade in.
Yeah.
A couple of these little parts kits, and then the sort of like pilot stylized kind
Oh,
of.
I haven't seen that one. That's awesome.
Yeah. That fade in there. So, we'll do that as a giveaway. So let's
Right on.
actually let's get that going. Let's do giveaway tool. Okay, we're gonna do. Let me edit this. We're gonna do thanks, Ben. We'll do that. Let me share the screen.
It's very cool of him to donate that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. Like he's probably the biggest donor of stuff, even more than like when toy companies donate and whatnot.
Wow.
So let's. All right, thanks, Ben. And again, thank you, Ben, for donating these. And let's go through the chat while people are putting those in. So we've got Brick Something commenting on Doc Ondar's oral hygiene in the thumbnail that I made there. Did you see what I described it as? Did you see the thumbnail, Eric?
Yeah.
It's me grilling you for Disney tips. That's what that is. And that was when I had thought that you had painted that one, but that was actually
fine.
Cameron. Rob is here. Bill Veras is here. Dave Orkin. New to Mythics, Greg. What's up, dude? I enjoyed your show this morning. Starscream. That's how you say it in Boston. Starscream. Greg says, my grandparents have pics of taking my mom to Disneyland in 1954, 1955. It was so basic. Dirt roads, orange trees, merry-go-round, pony corrals. And he's a huge Disneyland fan. They were talking about that on the show today. Jeremy Govier, Mike Casper, Amir, Slinky G, the Collecting Brothers. What's good? Hayes. Dylan's here. I got to see him yesterday. Good to see you, dude. There's a funny story. I don't know if I should tell it. So, I'll tell you in 1 second. Pickle D, White Friar Nerd, Cloud Foxwell, Braku Prime. What's up, man? I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. Let's see here. Yeah, I want to start doing this. Like, I feel like April break. I want to, like, the weather was off. I'm going to talk about that later. Let's see. Thomas Belay. Amateur Hour. Coda. Hank. Who else? Mapping Magic. Matt Spar. RP Robinson. Tom Anderson. And Brian Carr. What's up, everyone? Okay, so we got that
a good amount
going.
of people here.
Yeah. It's funny because, like, usually if it's not my Thursday night slot, it's like the numbers are. I mean, and they're lower here, but like it's a good number considering it's not my normal time slot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we got the giveaway going. Thanks, Ben, in the bottom.
Were you on with New to Mythics earlier today?
I was not. I was listening and just
listening.
Chatting and stuff.
I always catch the replay during the week on that one.
Yeah. I have a hard time rewatching live streams. I do love the fact that, like, you guys, the Mythic Enablers, the Euro guys, like, they do the audio. Mm-hmm. And I should be publishing my stuff to audio too. I haven't done it in so long.
Sure.
But ideally I would like to keep doing that because I do like having it in my podcast stream. Whereas, like, with YouTube, it's a little different.
For sure. I'm usually sitting at home by myself all the time now. So
Right.
it's real easy for me to just pop on all the lives that I missed when they were actually live.
Yeah. Fortress, you did not miss a thing. We just got started, and this is a giveaway that's still running. So if you want to win some Glyos figures, Star Wars themed, little Stormtrooper themed Glyos figures, put that in there. All right, so real quick, I just want to pull this up. So one more thing about Shop the Curiosity is they had Merlin and King Arthur on display there, and they allowed us to take some photos. So I thought we would kind of just run through these. They look amazing, these figures. Got these 2 head sculpts on Merlin.
The Merlin's so cool. The demon parts were a surprise for me. I didn't know that was coming, so that was really cool to see that.
Yeah, it's neat. So you said Cameron painted this, right?
Yeah, Cameron did Merlin.
Nice. Got that cape. I think, some people have said, "Oh, why isn't it more like why isn't it a 2.0 wizard with cloth goods and stuff?" Honestly, just take that cape and swap it out for Samir Scroll Warder's cape, and it's going to be a killer version of that,
Yeah.
And I love the Oni head on there.
Mm-hmm.
So cool. I want this head in every color. This is one of my favorite heads from.
It is awesome.
From Rising Suns. And then King Arthur. So this is the the uncrowned head.
Mm-hmm.
Looks awesome. And as always, awesome work with the paint job.
Thank you.
Little dragon theme in the crown there.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the 3 crowns on the cloth goods. Yeah, looks awesome. And there's a little blue. It doesn't come up. You can kind of see it on his left shoulder a little bit. It doesn't come up super strongly in photos, but you definitely can see it when you're in person. You can see that there's a blue tone to it that gives it a little of its own original color.
Right. Yeah. That's exactly why I did that. I wanted it to kind of be its own thing. It's King Arthur. I wanted it to be kind of special, So yeah, I tried to add some of that blue in there just to give the armor a little bit more visual interest. I had a Legacies Otho on my desk while I was painting him, so I could intentionally not make it look like Otho. I was so scared of it coming out looking like Otho because he's got the blue tunic also and everything. But he came out cool, I think. And with Excalibur, one of the things I wanted to do with Excalibur was it's really, really clean. So Arthur's obviously really regal as a character, so he's got the light silver with, I got that blue in there. It looks, pretty cool. But then with Excalibur, I was I'm going to make it silver and gold, but they're going to be a brighter silver than the armor and a brighter gold than the armor. And I want to make it spotless.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Almost magical,
exactly.
So clean. It's magic or something.
Yeah.
And then the Bedivere alternate head. And, a lot of people have been talking about the Bedivere figure and how, oh man, it's it's a named knight, and it's part of the exclusivity. But if you really look at it, I know it's the shield with the design and the head, but if you really look at that figure, it's a basic knight.
Yeah.
And you could put any knight, you could sub in almost any knight. If you can't get there and you can't get the exclusive, I feel subbing in a knight for Bedivere is going to look just,
for sure.
It's going to look good. It might not be the specific face that's meant to be him, but yeah.
Even if you can get a hold of a face plate, there's others of that helmet out there. Otho has one. If you have an Otho, you could just pop the faceplate in an Otho and you've got Bedivere.
Right. Yeah, totally. Those should be out soon too.
I keep forgetting that they did
Legacies
the in stock and the pre-order, so it's interesting that people still don't have theirs.
Yeah. We were talking this morning about the exclusives and stuff and how it would be cool if they did that for some of the show exclusives. So instead of dropping the standard version in stock, the the limited supply,
Mhm.
have it be you're at Legion's Con, and then or Legion's Con is happening, and while those things are being revealed and purchased at Legion's Con, there's like a pre-order where people outside could pre-order the standard version,
Yeah.
and that because they're doing a rerun right now of the Armory Nights. So if that had been just a pre-order at the time, but I guess it's a little tricky because they're making all those at the same time, right?
Yeah.
So
Usually.
yeah, so like I guess if that first run can't, that first one's got to be big enough for it to make sense with the MOQs and stuff. But I don't know, just thoughts about things like that.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of good conversation about Legion's Con and the hotels selling out really quickly, and that whole thing, and how it's growing, but the hotel selling out doesn't mean the show has outgrown the hotel. It just
Right.
means more and more people are choosing to stay. It's not that like some exponentially larger numbers going each year. I think if they could find a way to spread out the Saturday and Sunday crowd a little bit more,
Mhm.
where it's like, incentivize people spreading out the main hall with all the customizers, like their time in that main hall, like spreading that out across the 2 days, because that's not exclusive. Browsing all that stuff is, you can do that the whole 2 days, right? So like incentivizing people to go both days and spread that out, because it just felt like Saturday the floor was packed, and then Sunday it was like almost dead.
Yeah. And,
But
and
that's it for
it's,
slides.
as far as it growing as big as it has, like that's still pretty new, like
Yeah.
Legion's Con's been going on for, 5-6 years now, but it's been very different every year. Even being at the Marriott, like we're still figuring out new things every year. And I think, I think there's a lot to figure out still, but it'll be good.
Yeah. Yeah. It never, like there's lines for things. Those get better every year. Like even last year when the lines were crazy, they're moving way faster now.
Mhm.
And a simple thing like adding a couple extra more registers. What did they have? Two? They had two registers at the checkouts, right? Last year, didn't they? Like
They
on
have
each
4.
end. Right.
The
So they had two for the Armory and two for the
Yeah.
store, right?
Mhm.
So if maybe it's 3 and 3. Maybe the
Mhm.
exclusives have an extra register, and just things move faster. So
Mhm.
there's definitely ways to make it run more smoothly, and I think that they're always like working to improve. And
For
I
sure.
do think there's a few more years that they can do it there. It's just like, where do they go? Like how can they find, they have to find a bigger
Right.
place. Does one even exist? And the reason they can do it like this is because it's so close to the studio.
Mhm.
So it's like, how do you find a bigger place that's essentially that close? I don't know.
Right.
Year 8, technically year 8, because the first
Yeah.
year was essentially a meetup, right, and a little mini show, and then the second year was remote.
COVID.
It was online.
Yeah, I always feel weird about those first couple years, but yes, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, technically 8 years for sure. And then one last pickup that's going to transition us into the Disney talk is I got this pin.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'll talk about our pirate day. We had a fun pirate themed night that just, it went so
Awesome.
well that I was like, I saw the pin and I was like, I'll swing back and get it. And then I didn't. And then I was like, we were at the airport and there's a Disney store. And I was like, I wonder if they have
yeah.
that pin. And I went in and they had it. So I was like,
Nice.
yes, got it on the way out.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So let's talk Disney, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to put these to the side here. So I think we should start off by kind of just a very skeletal recap of like when you went and like what you did for like park days and hopping across, hopping and stuff like that. And then I'll kind of go through mine. So you want to start off and just talk about yours?
Sure. And I'll have a hard time remembering exactly where we were, at what time, because we park hop and we do it a lot too.
Yeah.
So I think just having that autonomy is like a really important part, especially to my wife. Like she likes the ability to just be anywhere at any point in time and say, I want to do this thing. And then you can go do it no matter where it is. But we went to Toylanta. That's kind of how we've started like this past year and the year before. Unfortunately, we can't do it next year because they moved Toylanta, but that's next year. We'll figure it out. But we went to Toylanta.
They moved the date of Toylanta?
Yeah, it's like 3 weeks later, I think.
Okay.
Next year.
Maybe I could do that. That might be my vacation.
Yeah, it'd be cool. I think one of the reasons they did it too was because it's always the same weekend as like the Great Ohio Toy Show or whatever, which is actually like 30 minutes from me, but I never go because I go to Toylanta.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we did Toylanta, and then we left Sunday morning from Toylanta and got to Disney. We did for our trip, we did a split stay at the resorts. So the first 3 nights we were at Animal Kingdom Lodge. And the reason we did that was because the deluxe resorts get you special after hours for certain parks on certain dates. So that way, Monday we had after hours for Epcot. So we stayed 2 hours later there. And then Wednesday we had after hours for Magic Kingdom. So we stayed until 1 a.m. And then we moved hotels the next day back to a cheaper, we stayed at Pop Century, which is where we like to stay. And then we finished out our stay there. But yeah, first day we started at Magic Kingdom. Like I feel like you got to start at Magic Kingdom. That's kind of what we like to do.
Yeah.
And then we hopped over to Epcot for after hours and did that. And then I don't remember what we did the next day. I think we did Animal Kingdom maybe the next day.
Mm-hmm.
We would have started.
How many total days? So
4.
4
we
total
did 4
days.
days. Yeah.
Okay. And all 4 days you were sort of hopping around.
Yeah, exactly. So it's hard for me to remember where. I know Monday we did Magic Kingdom and Epcot, and then I know Wednesday we ended in Magic Kingdom because we had after hours in Magic Kingdom. But as for Wednesday, I know we started Hollywood Studios, and then Thursday was kind of like a cleanup day where we just kind of like, okay, what didn't we do the other 3 days that we want to get done? Let's get it done. So,
and your second hotel was, what did you say?
Pop Century.
Okay, that's right. Yeah,
that's where we usually stay because it's cheap and it's on the Skyliner. So we really like to use the Skyliner, and we are not like a resort day family. So like we use the resort to sleep basically. So like I don't care to stay at like $1,000 a night resort, you know?
Yeah. So mine was 3. We were there Wednesday through Sunday, and this was we got back a week ago today, so it was last weekend essentially, and it was during our April break. So like, I had that whole week off, but we went midweek because we went with my brother-in-law's family, and his job, it's a little harder for him to get the days off. So we were like, we got to do some of it on the weekend, which my ideal would be to go like and do like weekday park days so that I'm not at a park on the weekend. But, just kind of like trade-offs with that. And so we got down Wednesday and went, checked into the hotel and what I do is I leave the airport and do a Walmart order as we're leaving the airport. And then that gets there right around we're getting at the hotel. And so I have supplies that way because we don't have a car. We fly down and we don't we don't rent a car or anything. And then so we did like Disney Springs that night and had dinner, and then we went to so we also did Park Hopper. So last year we didn't do Park Hopper. This year we did. I have some thoughts on it in terms of like lightning lanes and stuff. We'll get to that in a minute, but like we started at Hollywood Studios on Thursday and then ended the day at Epcot. And then Friday we started at Animal Kingdom and ended the day at Magic Kingdom. And then Saturday, our last day, we started at Magic Kingdom. So we wrapped around. We ended Friday night at Magic Kingdom and started Saturday at Magic Kingdom, which is kind of neat because we did we ended the day with Pirates, and then we ended the day with. So my nephew and I did. Everyone did Pirates, and then my nephew and I did. While everybody's at fireworks, we did Seven Dwarves, and then Saturday morning, we kind of split up the two families, and my wife and my daughter and I did Seven Dwarves, and then a little while later did Pirates. So we had like this weird flipped like night and then morning. Um, and then so we started at Magic Kingdom Saturday, and then we went over to Epcot for lunch, and then we went over to Hollywood Studios to end the day and do Phantasmic.
Yeah.
And that's a smooth day because it's like it's you start at Magic Kingdom, and then you can take the monorail to Epcot, and then walk through to the bottom of Epcot, and then take the Skyliner to Hollywood. So it's kind of like a nice flow to the day.
Yeah, for sure.
With that plan. But so those are our days. Those are just for people to kind of like get a sense, and for each of us to understand like how our trips went. So you did 4 days park hopping. I did 3 days park hopping.
My wife was texting me from the other room because she heard me say that I don't know what we did, but she said day 2 we did Hollywood Studios and Animal Kingdom, and then back to Hollywood Studios to see Phantasmic.
Mm-hmm.
And then she said Wednesday we did Epcot and then Magic Kingdom. Thursday we did Hollywood Studios, Epcot, and Magic Kingdom. Like, so our trips are chaos.
yeah. And you're not planning the way I do, right? Like you're
right,
like you're jumping around, whatever kind of like catches your fancy, or maybe you see lines are less at a different park, or you want to eat something specific and then you're hungry, or things like that.
Yeah. We'll usually have like a few reservations sprinkled throughout the week. So like we kind of know relatively where we're going to be when we do that. But yeah, other than that, it's like we basically feel it out the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you do Disney Springs at all or no?
Not usually. We ended up going to Disney Springs the day we left this year. So like, I don't think no one wanted to leave. And like, since we have a car, like, like we drove down. So it's kind of like, well, we don't need to get on the road just yet, so we ended up not leaving until like 4 p.m. on the day we left. We did a lot of stuff that day.
Your drive home, is it like drive halfway, spend a night, drive the other half?
Yeah, we ended up staying in Atlanta again and then drove back home. So basically like on the way down, stopping in Atlanta,
right,
going there. The last year we stayed in Chattanooga. We got a little bit further because we left a little bit earlier, but we left really late this year.
Fortress is asking if it was packed. You said it was packed when you went, right?
It was when I went. It was a spring break week, and last year we went during the same week, and like no lines for anything really, like nothing crazy. But this year everything was long always. It was packed the whole time.
Yeah, it was more packed than I expected because, I mean, by the end of the month when we were down there, like it's supposed to be a little less because a lot of the spring breaks are done. I know it's like our spring break, and coming out of Boston was busy and stuff, but like I don't. It's not supposed to be like that, and so I was a little surprised at how busy it was, how long a lot of the lines were most of the time.
I think this year when we went. So like Easter was the Sunday after our trip.
Yeah.
And I think for some reason, a lot of people went there for Easter week. So we didn't really account for that. And we didn't do Lightning Lane, which usually like last year we did Lightning Lane for, I think 2 of the 5 days we did. And they were like, I don't think we need it next year, so we didn't do it. And then there were certain days where we instantly regretted not having Lightning Lane.
Yeah. We had it for day 1 and day 3. I feel like I don't really need it for Animal Kingdom Day, just because there's not as many rides there. So the day we started Animal Kingdom, we were like, we probably don't need it. We had some of the like single lightning lanes. I'm kind of specifically talking about the multi-pass. We didn't have the multi-pass that middle day, but that middle day we had a single pass for Flight of Passage, which we ended up riding twice because we we ended up being first in line. Well, let's start from
No, you're good.
let's pick a park. Let's start Animal Kingdom. Let's start talking
Okay.
about that. So our plan was to talk like park to park. We'll go through the 4 parks and kind of talk about our thoughts and how, like how it went and any kind of like recommendations or whatever. So yeah, so we were first in line. I could not believe it, like, because we took the bus from the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
So the randomness of like our hotel, of all the hotels, having the bus that was like the first to drop people off was like wild. I was like, holy crap, we are first. Once, but first in line to wait for them to open up the security check, right? Because then once that happens, everybody's like coming through all at the same
Right.
time. So it's not like you're never really first in line necessarily. But yeah, so because of that, we were like walk right on to Flight of Passage, because the original plan was like, okay, if there's a lot of people ahead of us, we'll just go to Navi River, because we had a good experience with doing that first last year. But being first, we were like, okay, let's just do that. We won't have to wait at all. We'll do that, and then we'll do Navi River. So we did that, and so we rode that twice. I will say this about Animal Kingdom: the safari has a little bit of diminishing returns, because you start to realize some of the stuff is fake.
Yeah.
Like the ostrich eggs. They're not real ostrich eggs. Like they pointed out, and they describe them as if they're real, but they're not real. Or like the elephant tusk marks in the clay. Like they're not like there's a lot of stuff that's not. I don't think it's like real. And like the way they described it the second time through, I was like, okay, like that's just like for kind of show or whatever. Obviously, you get to see animals and all that stuff, but there's a little bit of the tour that just felt off going through it a second time. Yeah.
There used to be like a story to it, like, and there was like animatronics and stuff.
Yeah.
Like a long time ago, like they really had this storyline about like poachers and stuff, and then there was like they had like an animatronic of like a dead like elephant, like they wanted to like scar children, I guess. Okay. And then there was like a truck, like a poacher's truck that had like a baby elephant animatronic in the back of it and stuff. So that stuff's not there anymore, but I think you're right. Some of that stuff I think is like
maybe that's why it just comes off as being out of place now.
Maybe
in like your first run through, you don't know, because you don't know. It's the first time hearing it, but then you hear it again. But I guess that's that little, like, I forget what it is, the park rangers village or something, where like the goats are there.
Yeah.
Like, that must be kind of like why that's like that, and they kind of describe this like fake park ranger or whatever it is.
For sure. The ostrich eggs could be real though. I don't know.
I actually looked it up. They're
did?
They're real eggs that have been filled.
Oh, so they just leave them there.
And they actually serve a purpose in terms of, I forget what it is, but they serve some kind of purpose in terms of like the ostriches seeing them and reacting to them in some way, or I forget what the heck it is. But I would rather them just tell me that, like, okay, so those are fake ostrich eggs. They're kind of real. They're actually filled with cement or whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
They serve this purpose. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather know that than like this kind of like fake kind of story or whatever.
Yeah.
So that felt a little bit like, okay, maybe I don't have to. Originally I was like, I need to do the safari every time I go.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, I'm not so sure.
I can take it or leave it. But like, if I'm being honest, like I can take or leave Animal Kingdom. Like I Flight of Passage is really cool. I really like Expedition Everest. I liked Dino Land, though I didn't really care much for the ride Dinosaur. Yeah. But like my son specifically loved Dinosaur, so we always did that. But like, if I did a trip and never went to Animal Kingdom during that trip, I would be fine.
Yeah. I wonder if that'll change when they open up the tropics,
maybe so,
or whatever.
Yeah. I hope so. Like I want to feel like that's a park that I like have to like go to.
Must,
a bunch of cool stuff. But
I did get to ride Everest for the first time. So one of the fun parts of our Animal Kingdom day was after our like morning, like let's get in early entry and bang out some rides, and after that, some of them wanted to eat and me and my nephew. So I had my older nephew who's in high school. Um, he and I would like kind of like go rogue once in a while and go like do something just the two of us. And so we were like, all right, anybody want to go to Everest? And nobody wanted to go, so the two of us went. And like when you're two people, you can just move faster and get places
Mhm.
quicker. And the line, I was like, the line is like, oh, like there's almost no line. And so we went over there and did that, and then they went up through the middle, and we kind of went around, and we ended up meeting in the Africa area for the safari.
Mhm.
But yeah, so that was fun. That is a great ride. That is a really good one.
It really is. Yeah. And as far as like theming goes and stuff, like it's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's
amazing.
awesome.
Yeah. My main reason I would want to go to Animal Kingdom is for Everest, and then of course Flight of Passage. But our
Dylan's.
Animal Kingdom plan more or less has been, we like to go right before it closes because it
Hmm.
closes early. So
Yeah.
like especially with Park Hopper, we can shoot over there like a couple hours before it closes and do everything we want to do in that couple
What
of
time does it
hours.
close? Do you remember?
This year it closed at 8, but I
Okay.
think last year it closed at 7. So like our cool Animal Kingdom thing from this year is like we've always wanted to see Pandora at night with everything lit up, because there's a whole lighting package in that land, and there's like tons of stuff that they did to make sure it looks awesome at night.
Yeah.
But Animal Kingdom is never open at night.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to actually see it. So like
So was it
last
dark when you were there this time? Did it
this
get dark?
time it
Yeah.
was, yeah.
Okay.
But last year we hung around as late as we possibly could, hoping all the lights would come on and stuff. Didn't happen, so we just left, whatever. But this year we got out of
later.
Flight of Passage,
Yeah.
and it was dark and everything was lit up, and it was awesome. It was one of
What
the
was your
coolest
line
things.
like for Flight of Passage at that time at like 7, 8 o'clock?
We still waited, I want to say 50 minutes to an hour,
Okay.
maybe. But I mean, throughout our trip, the Flight of Passage line was close to 2 hours, like pretty much all the time.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah,
of
I mean,
all
still pretty
of
good.
all the rides to like sit in a line, that's not a bad one. It's a lot of it is AC, right? And there's stuff
Yeah,
to look at. Like I don't
kind
know.
of. Towards the
No.
end, there's stuff to look at. But yeah, it's like a lot of it's just like switchbacks through like a fake jungle or whatever. But it's, yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So you were out. You were out in the outside in a lot of your wait.
For a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. What else about Animal Kingdom? That was where I had to place my in stock sale order.
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, I was on my phone a lot because we had lightning lanes, and I was constantly, because of the park hopper and the way it works with the lightning lanes and stuff. I felt like I was on my phone way too much on this trip. So I was on my phone anyways, but still, like, we were making our way from the safari. We walked through the gorilla sanctuary or whatever,
Mhm.
and we were heading back to get our lightning lane at Flight of Passage. So we were trekking across the park, and I was I was leading the family, because I was kind of like I was the planner and all that stuff, and I'm trying to like log into as a store horseman as I'm walking through, and I'm trying to make sure I'm not leaving anyone behind. And oh my god! And it was packed. Like this, I don't
Yeah.
know. The Africa land always feels it was. I mean, I only been twice, but it's so
Yeah.
packed over there, which gives it that kind of vibe. I don't know. It just like kind of feels right for that.
I
that
think they
land.
kind of designed it to make sure that it felt bustling,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. But I was able to do it. I was able to get my order in.
That's awesome.
So it worked out.
When you said you had that Flight of Passage lightning lane during the in-stock sale, I was like, oh no, he's going to be like in that like facility, like with no service.
My phone is going to be inside the storage thing behind me.
Yeah.
That was what I was worried about. But everything kind of like just naturally got a little skewed a little bit later. So we were hitting that Flight of Passage later in the hour window. So it all worked out. I mean, I would have liked to maybe have just been like on the safari when that happened, so that I could just be like sitting, like take a second to do that
Right.
while. Okay, so anything else for Animal Kingdom?
My wife was again, she's texting me from the other room, but she wants to make sure I mention all these things. But we we got the street corn at Animal Kingdom. It was pretty good. And then she got this like churro flight that had like different dipping sauces and stuff that she like thought was one of the best
I
snacks.
think
she
we
the
had that
entire trip.
last year. Was that at that kind of fancier restaurant?
It was the one, I mean, they might have it at the restaurant too. I don't know, but we got it from just one of those little like shacks that has
Kiosks or whatever.
Yeah, a little kiosk. But yeah, she mentioned no line for the safari at night. And then that we saw Pandora all lit up, which is really, really, really cool. And then we watched did you watch the Zootopia show?
No.
We did that. So
How was that?
It's under the big tree, the tree of life.
Okay.
It's like a 4D show. It used to be a Bug's Life show, but now it's Zootopia. So last year when we went, it was a Bug's Life still. Now it switched over to Zootopia. I never cared for it. The Zootopia one is better than the Bug's Life was, but still it's kind of whatever. But I don't like Zootopia that much, like as a franchise. Like I know a lot of people love it, but I don't care for it much. But
I'm pretty indifferent about it.
Yeah. The show was fun. There was a lot of funny bits in it too, but I mean, like it's a 4D show, you know, so they're like spraying you with water and like the seats have stuff in them, and yeah, it's fun.
Cool. Yeah. So we, that was Everest was my new thing there. We did go back to the Satuli Canteen, which is the Avatar Land restaurant, which
I usually
love.
Eat there.
Yeah, it's good. Like there's a lot of seating. It's indoors. You can just order your food and then, get there when you're picking it up, and the food's good. Like it's actually pretty good, like rice bowls or, different kinds of like bowls type stuff.
We always get the cheeseburger bao buns. It's like
my daughter has that.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah. They're really good.
Yeah. And then we were finishing our day there, our morning there, had lunch, and then we were leaving, and on our way out we got the Night Blossom that's like right out the kiosk right there. It's like one of those frozen drinks.
Yep.
I get the rum in it.
Oh yeah.
Those are good. And so and I also say that we did the photo pass again, or I forget if it's called memory, whatever the memory maker photo pass thing where you pay for it, the package, and like I'm totally gonna do that every time now. Like I did it the first time, and I was like, that was worth it. And then the second time, I was like, I don't know, do we need to do it? And then I did it, and obviously it was nice because we split it 2 families. Yeah. So just I had it, but we shared the cost, and then I just downloaded everything, and it's all uploaded for my family to see. But I think it's worth it, honestly. Like even just like all of the ride ones where you get your picture on the ride and stuff, like, and it's not like, doesn't have that overlay, the watermark or whatever. So yeah, I felt, for me and for my family and what we like to do, like I felt like it was worth it. Because I worry that like I'm just not going to use it. Like I'm not going to go get those photos taken, and I'm going to forget. But they're everywhere, and there's always, even if something's got a line, there's always something a little bit later that doesn't have a line or whatever. And you just walk up and take some photos, and yeah, I like that.
We did it too this time, like, and we hadn't done it since I think maybe our first trip there. But we did it this time, and yeah, it's definitely worth it. And you've got nice photos of your trip, And one thing my wife wanted to do too was, like, since it's been years since we had done it, she wanted to do a lot of the same photo, like the photo pass spots, so that we can like compare like first trip, most recent trip, like in the exact same spot. So that's kind of cool. That's
neat. Yeah. A secret live stream that no one knew about except some of us have found it. That's right. It wasn't. I did post it in places, but the thing is, like I was saying earlier, when you do it on your not normal time, it doesn't get as much traction. Like people are creatures of habit, so it tends to not get seen. Hayes says, I was able to ride Everest 5 times in a row one morning. We were even able to stay on the ride for three of those times. Oh, nice. So you just rolled right through. That's cool. Yeah, I could see, like, if you had early entry and it wasn't that busy of a day and you went straight to Everest, and you could totally rock that thing a few times. Because, I mean, we had done a bunch of stuff and then went over, And the line wasn't even that bad. It was maybe like 20, 30 minutes or something.
Mhm. There's been a lot of times where I've gone where that wait's been like 10 or 15 minutes, like the whole trip.
Yeah. So let's see. The thing I hate about Animal Kingdom is it's always hotter there and there's no breeze. But there's more shade. There's like, I feel like it's like the coolest one. Like there's way more shade than anywhere else. What are your thoughts on the comfort level of Animal Kingdom?
I'm fine. I mean, when it's again, it's like when you go to Disney, it's like, it's going to be hot. So I always just prepare for it. And if it's hot, then I go, yeah, we're at Disney. Like it's really hot. But it's fine. But again, oddly enough, this trip, like it was pretty cool. The whole trip. Like, I don't think it got above like 70 degrees the whole time we were there.
Oh, wow. So your mornings were probably a little chilly, huh?
They were very cool. Yeah. And actually thinking back on it, I think it's really strange. Like we never rode Tiana this trip.
Mm-hmm.
But it's because it was so cold. Like I didn't want to get wet and then be like super freezing. So yeah,
I got soaked. I was in the front again.
Yeah.
And I tried to prevent some of the water from coming in, and I think it was a mistake because it all went down my back. My whole back was soaking wet.
Oh yeah.
But it was a really nice day. It got warm. Like it was totally fine.
That's good.
And then later that day, I spilled an entire beer on myself.
So you're already wet. It just blends in with everything else. It's great.
Which I'll talk about after. I was sitting, and it's funny because I was sitting in the most like zen place to eat, which is the little Japan pavilion behind there, and they have all those seats. It was a mess, but yeah. Let's see if any of it. Let's see. Hedgehog says Animal Kingdom nicest by far.
Yeah, I've been watching his comments in here, and like, man, I love Hedgehog, but I think if we did a Disney trip together, it would probably end our friendship.
Yeah, it'd be totally different needs. Disney really should have included an Ewok village along with the Avatar world to go along with the Animal Kingdom. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Thematically, that could be cool. There's kind of an Ewok village outside of Star Tours, but it's just kind of a set piece.
Yeah. All right. So Animal Kingdom. What do we want to talk about next? Magic Kingdom?
Sure.
Okay. So Magic Kingdom. My take on Magic Kingdom this time. I freaking love Pirates of the Caribbean. I mean, we rode it last time and all that. I feel like it's one of those rides that's going to get better and better the more times you ride it, that kind of thing. And we had another thing where we were like, I don't know. We did the Beacon Barrel. It's like the pirate theme bar that just opened up last year, and it wasn't open last time we went.
Mm-hmm.
So we did that, and I was kind of on the fence because we had done Oga's and we were kind of spending a lot of money, and it was just like, is it really gonna be worth it? I'm so glad we did. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was so much fun. The details in there are insane. So I am a beer drinker. I do like to drink beer, and so one of the things is Magic Kingdom it's not like all the other parks. Like all the other parks, you can just walk up and grab a beer. Anywhere. This Magic Kingdom only has restaurants. You have to eat while you're sitting or have a beer while you're sitting in a restaurant. So that was like that beer went down really good because, it's just like you don't have access to it. So there was that aspect of it, and the kids loved it, and they have some really fun kids options. They have like this kids drink that comes with like a bunch of candy, essentially, like a cake pop and like some candies and stuff. And the singing and the songs. And we had a really good server. He was awesome, and he was just like an absolute character. But I will say the one thing is like we got there earlier than our check-in, and then had to wait way past it was just like this wicked long wait, and we were sitting out in that area, and everybody was like, "Oh, this is taking so long." And we were 7 people, so like it's a little trickier to see, especially at a little place like that. But I loved it. And then right afterwards, and it was like nighttime. It was like 7, 8 o'clock, and right afterwards, we hadn't even planned it because we had a lightning lane for it, but Pirates was wide open. It was like no lines. We're like, hey, let's just do it. Like
Yeah.
we're here. We're in the theme of the moment, and so we did that, and it was just so much fun. It was just such a fun little pirate themed thing. And you had a pretty cool pirate
Yeah,
experience with yours.
for sure. Pirates is one of our favorite things there too. Magic Kingdom for the most part, and a lot of those older rides, they're just drenched with like classic Disney
Mm-hmm.
Imagineering, and like
Yeah.
there's a hand built charm to like everything at Disney that I just love so much. Like nothing seems crazy manufactured. Like it all seems very like skilled people put this stuff together.
Right.
Creative,
Artists. Yeah.
skilled people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I love about Pirates of the Caribbean. But the cool thing we did on this trip, since the waits were so long, like Pirates was like 40, 50 minutes always. There were a couple times we saw it lower than that, but for the most part, it was up that high the whole time, which is like crazy. I don't think on any other trip we ever saw Pirates above maybe 30 at an extreme. But I had seen that there's this scavenger hunt you can do through Adventureland that's pirate themed, and we'd never done it before. So I we actually I kind of initiated it like without telling anybody, but we had eaten at Pecos Bill's lunch, and right outside of that is like the entrance to Adventureland, and I took my daughter out to go to the bathroom. She needed to go to the bathroom. There's this little shack right between Adventureland and Frontierland, and you go in there and you initiate this pirate scavenger hunt. So like on our way back to meet up with my son and my wife, my daughter and I went in there and we just like started one, and we were like, hey, we got this map, like let's go do this thing. And everyone was like, all right, cool, that sounds like fun. And it was super fun. They give you this little token that you scan on different points that the treasure map shows you, and it takes you through a storyline, and it interacts with things in Adventureland. A lot of stuff you thought were just set pieces that sat there, didn't know they did anything. They were like animatronics and stuff, and they'd kind of come to life and talk to you and tell you where to go next, and it was awesome. And then so there's 5 of those, and we ended up doing all 5 because we loved it so much. And after the 3rd time, we didn't know this, but they gave you a Pirates of the Caribbean lightning lane. So we were like, oh, cool, we don't have to wait in line anymore.
Mm.
And after the 5th time, they gave us another one. So we had these lightning lanes for Pirates of the Caribbean. So the scavenger hunt takes about the same amount of time as waiting in line, but you're actually like out doing things and having fun instead of just sitting in a line. But I found out people caught on to it after we left. This is just within the last month. And like that you can do the scavenger hunt, but the reward is not a lightning lane anymore because people were like abusing it. I don't know how you abuse that, but I don't know. But anyway, it was a lot of fun. There's just a lot of cool interactive things. You almost feel like you have like dominion over the park in a weird way. Because you'll scan your ticket here, and then like across the street on top of a building or something, like something will happen, like a cannon will shoot or something. There was one really cool one that was in front of Tom Sawyer Island, or not Tom Sawyer Island, sorry, Swiss Family Robinson Treehouse. Mm-hmm. And you scan the thing, and the water in the river like starts bubbling, and this like pirate skeleton rises out of the water and starts talking. That's awesome. You. It was super cool.
I wanted, after you told me that, regardless of the lightning lanes, I wanted to do it. But I wasn't going to like force it in. I was going to, if we were, a little bit of gap time or whatever, we were going to do it, but we just didn't have that. But it sounds awesome. And like at some point I will, on a future trip, I'll make sure that it's like almost a part of the plan to like do that.
Yeah.
So this answers Hammertron's question. Yes, at least at Disney World, there's the Swiss Family Robinson Treehouse. Yeah. I've actually never gone through that. I need to. That's another one that
it's cool. You just walk through it, and there's cool set pieces. Yeah. Nothing crazy, but it's a fun thing. The cool thing is like when you get to the top, you can see like the whole park, which is really fun.
That's cool.
Disneyland it used to be the Swiss Family Robinson Treehouse, and then it was the Tarzan Treehouse, and now they've switched it kind of back to Swiss Family Robinson, though they've kind of loosely themed it on the Society of Explorers and Adventurers, which is it's an in theme through line for Adventureland. You have to be like an intense Disney nerd to know about it, but once you go down that rabbit hole, it's kind of fascinating.
Mm.
Yeah.
Hedgehog said the beer report is fantastic. What does that mean? The beer report?
Is that a place?
I don't know. Hedgehog, what's the beer report? Was Beak and Barrel hard to get into? We did a reservation, like, you know, like, what is it, 60 days before you can book some reservations. And so, like, I made sure that I was there booking stuff, and most of the reservations worked out well. A few were a little tricky, but yeah, we were able to get Beak and Barrel reservation. We were able to get Oga's. Those are kind of like, Oga's is like a must for me. So
yeah, we had a Beak and Barrel reservation this time, but we didn't use it. We ended up canceling it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to see it, like, and I don't drink, so like that aspect is kind of lost on me.
Right.
But I just wanted to go in and see the theming and like that kind of stuff. But then when it got time to do it, we were like, we're just knee deep in so many other things. Like,
right.
Let's just
it is time. It's going to take up a good chunk of time. I know that they rush you out, you have 45 minutes, but to get in there, order a drink and a snack, like the whole, it does take time, even if you're trying to like rush through it or whatever. Oh, Hayes says they had to wait a long time as well. Went twice and really enjoyed it. They need to put in a place to sit down there if they're going to make you wait. Yeah, like you're sitting on like edges of. It's not a great waiting area. I guess you could like, I don't know, maybe like poke your head in the gift shop over there, but someone's got to be there to when they come out. All right, so other Magic Kingdom thoughts.
We had something. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I was just going to say we had something really cool happen when we were at Magic Kingdom too, besides the Pirates thing. But so Buzz Lightyear's been closed for a long time. It's reopened now.
Yep.
But we were on our Magic Kingdom day. We just went over to Tomorrowland. We did Carousel of Progress, and then we got on the People Mover. And as we were on the People Mover, we looked down. We're like, there's people standing outside of Buzz Lightyear. Like, it looks like something's going on down there. And like, okay, cool. Well, we'll have to check it out when we get off, whatever. But while you're on the People Mover, it goes through the Buzz Lightyear ride, and you can like look down and see people in the ride and stuff. You're like, oh, there's people like in there. They're like doing the game and like riding the ride. Like, it must be open, So when we were done, we went down there and they had just opened like previews. So it didn't officially open until like the next week. Yeah. So we felt like we were in on some secret thing, like one of the first people to ride the new Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's cool. Yeah.
Nice. That was one we rode this time. We had a lightning lane for it. Thank God. Cause I think now that it's reopened, it's like, I don't know how the lines were in the past, but like the lines were pretty damn crazy for that.
They're usually pretty long.
Are they?
In that preview, no one knew it was happening, so we waited like 15 minutes.
Yeah. So yeah, we did that. That was our first time riding that one. We did not do the People Mover again. We kept saying we got to do and it was like the whole time we kept saying we got to get on that People Mover. We just couldn't. Like our Magic Kingdom days were very busy, and that's another thing. It's like reservations and lightning lanes and like all these things, like they add up and you kind of start buzzing around like crazy. But yeah, so we didn't do that. We didn't do the Carousel of Progress. I actually loved that. I know it's like kind of a little bit of like a boring thing, but like I love the Carousel of Progress.
I like it too.
The first time, and I regret not doing that this time. But there's always next time, and it's like, oh, I haven't done that in a couple years, and it'll be even more fun because of it. My one regret was queuing up for Space Mountain. I forget what we had done. But we were sort of in the area. We had a little bit of time, and like my nephew was like, "Come on, let's go ride Space Mountain. It's only 35 minutes." And I was like, "Ah, man, we're trying to get to Epcot for the middle of the day lunch, and we just had like this tight thing, and it was like we got in line, and I was like frustrated because like it was taking forever. It took like more like 45 minutes than 30. You know, it was just and it, I feel like that ride is when you ride these other coasters that are more visually interesting. Like I don't know, it's just like one of those rides that I find is not worth. It's cool if you have a lightning lane. Like if you can catch a lightning lane, like it's cool. But like waiting for that ride, I just found to be not great.
It's you're just in those tubes for like ever, there's not a lot of space. And
And
yeah.
you're constantly snaking around these corners, and then you look and you think you're there, and then there's like this whole another section of
Yeah.
snaking, and it's like, oh my god, it was rough. Like
Yeah.
that was probably one of the roughest like little stretches of our trip.
Mhm.
So yeah,
We ended up doing Space Mountain during our after hours, so the waits were not bad then.
right, yeah,
We just walked right onto it.
yeah,
But my daughter was like scared of it, even though she had done it before and liked it. But we got her on it. Like I don't push too hard. If she doesn't want to ride something, we're like, come on, like this one's, it's fine. It's like the most tame roller coaster there, but you're just in the dark, so you feel like it's way more intense than it actually is.
yeah.
And she rode it, and then like when we were done, she's like, I want to do it again. So she loved it. But yeah, it's one that like I can take it or leave it. But like my son loves it, my wife loves it, my daughter loves it now, so we got to do it.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm cool with like doing it, but it wasn't like in our plan, and it was like a long wait. So I think it's one of those ones where I'd like to have a short wait or just not ride it.
Especially when you have somewhere to be. Like I could see being frustrated about that.
Hammertron says Magic Kingdom needs multiple castles to simulate a war between kingdoms.
Right on.
The report on the difference in beer availability. Oh, okay. Like just saying like the beer conversation about like that. Yeah, every park you can grab a beer almost anywhere except Magic Kingdom. You have to have like a sit down reservation, I believe, to have any beer anywhere in that park. And then so like I said, we had done on our second day, we had done Magic Kingdom evening, and while my family was doing fireworks, my nephew Jack and I, we went rogue, and we were trying to go see Tron. Tron's line was still pretty crazy, but then we went over to Seven Dwarfs, and it was like I forget what it said it was. It said the wait was like 50 minutes, and we got on there. It was like 10 minutes tops, and it was right during the fireworks. So we were coming up over hills, and just fireworks were booming off, and they're on both sides. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah.
Like there's if you're on Main Street and you're facing the castle, there's fireworks that come up from the castle area, and then there's fireworks way off in the distance behind it, behind the park essentially, that are coming up. So you're seeing fireworks at different angles as you're ripping around the turns on Seven Dwarfs. So that was an absolute blast. That was so fun. The line was moving fast. Everybody was, moving. And then we tried to like, take that little cut through over to Tron, and then we got to the line, because it was lower, like it had gone down. And we're like, oh, this is only 50 minutes now. Maybe we can hop, maybe we can catch the same magic and get on there quick. But we got there, and we're like, oh my god, like the line is still all the way out and down the entry area. And we're like, we can't do it. We have to meet back up with them and go back. It was late at that point, But yeah, so that was fun. And
you didn't get to do it at all then?
Tron?
Yeah.
We had a Tron for the
Oh, I remember you saying that.
We had a light kneeling. I'm trying to remember
Yeah.
when we did. Hold on, I do have notes here. Let's see. We had already ridden it that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had already ridden it. Where is it?
It is fun at night. I remember talking about that when you were on the Enablers episode, but yeah,
yeah, we were,
the
yeah,
night
yeah. So
Tron
yeah,
ride is always fun.
we rode Tron. We came back to Magic Kingdom and rode Tron. That was like the start of our night at Magic Kingdom, or our afternoon, whatever. And then we went to Beacon Barrel, and then yeah, we tried to ride it at night, late during the fireworks, and it just didn't work out. But it was cool to be over there, while and see it, people riding it, and kind of see that and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah,
We didn't this time, but because we only went for 4 days. But we usually will take one night while the fireworks are going and just kind of clean up like all the Fantasyland rides. Cause like Peter Pan's no wait, Winnie the Pooh's no wait,
Right.
Seven Dwarf Mine Train, no wait. It's like you can just go right down that strip and just hit them all. And then the fireworks are over and it's like, cool. We just did like 4 rides in the time it usually takes to do one.
Yeah. I think that's the place to be, is Fantasyland during fireworks. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
And that the Seven Dwarves that's a single pass pay one, right? Like, and in the mornings it's, it can be super busy and stuff.
Yep.
So it's cool that there's really no line there at that point. And then we wrapped around and had Friday morning there. And I love Magic Kingdom first thing. Like,
Yeah.
And we got in quick enough where we were able to just like pretty much walk right on Seven Dwarves. Well, not walk right on. Like you go there and like you queue up and then you wait for them to open it.
Right.
But then once it was open, like we got right on and rode it. We were maybe like 20, 30 people back in line. And then we had some time and one thing that my wife wanted to do the first time, and I was like, oh, we got to get to the rides. Cause it's, it's opening, it's early, and you can ride rides while there's no lines. And I was like, I don't want to, but she wanted to go to Gaston's, to get like a little breakfasty treat.
Yep.
And, it doesn't like open till 9. So I was like, well, we're going to be able to go ride rides at 9 because the other part of the park opens up. But we was out of curiosity. We walked over there at like 8:30 or whatever, and it was open. It was like open early. So we were able to like go in there, sit down, have some coffee, have some little breakfasty treat type croissant type things.
We got the creme brulee croissant this time, and that was one of my wife's favorite treats that we got the entire time.
Yeah, I think we had that. We had 2 different ones.
It was really good.
Yeah.
It's
funny how like
fairly new
amusement park food at Disney is often like awesome, like like really good stuff,
Yeah, it's one of the main reasons a lot of people go. But my thing at Disney, like I know a lot of people love to get like a nice sit down meal, like some of the more expensive ones. Like I don't really care to do that, but most of the table service, like the quick service, whatever restaurants at Magic Kingdom are like really, really good. And the food is way cheaper than getting a sit down meal. And it's way faster. And I would have no problem doing an entire trip just quick service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't eaten. I mean, I guess we did Beacon Barrel, but like it's not really a dinner. We haven't done a reservation at Magic Kingdom. Last year when we did lunch over at the Contemporary Hotel.
Yeah.
And that was really good. The steak place there, we had burgers and stuff. That was
that
was a great middle day cool down, especially in August. Like to go over to get on the monorail, cool off at the hotel, sit for a bit, and like just cool down for a while and have a nice meal. That was a nice midday. But this time our weather was amazing. I haven't even talked about our weather. Like it was, in my opinion, perfect. Like it got a little hot, but I like the heat. But the mornings were cool, and I felt like we hit the jackpot weather-wise. And there was one storm that was we were at Hollywood Studios, and we had a Brown Derby reservation. And as soon as we walked into Brown Derby and sat down, the skies opened up and it just poured. Just absolute downpours. And right when we got out of there, it stopped.
That's
It was
awesome.
like it was the perfect like thing, and then it didn't rain again, and we were worried because oh my god, rain's coming in, and we have Phantasmic VIP
Mhm.
that night, so we were worried about that. But
The
we'll
rain
come
never
back.
lasts too long there.
No,
You know?
yeah, it doesn't. But we'll come back to Hollywood
Yeah.
Studios. Um, yeah, I just want to reiterate like how much I like starting the day at Magic Kingdom,
Mhm.
walking in, just seeing that park in the morning, and going up to Fantasyland. I don't know, just the whole vibe of all of it is so nice in the
Yeah.
morning.
I could honestly like I could just sit on a bench at Magic Kingdom and just stay there for a really, really long time and be
Yeah,
happy. Just
yeah,
like the vibe of like Main Street and like yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it.
yep. Any other thoughts on Magic Kingdom?
Yeah, I don't know if I have anything special. I was bummed that the Haunted Mansion is like covered in a big sheet right now.
Yeah, that kind of sucked, but the
They're
ride's
refurbing
still
the
good.
oh yeah. You could still ride and the
Yeah,
ride's great.
yeah,
But yeah, they're refurbishing the like the landscaping and stuff. So they just have giant scaffolding with this massive scrim on it right now. And
yep,
it's like funnily enough, like it has a picture of the haunted mansion
yeah.
like on
It
it.
does. Yeah,
Which is kind of, and if you look at it from far away, like if you're over by like Tiana and look at it, you can see the actual haunted
right
mansion like
behind it.
facade
Yeah,
stretching up higher than the scrim. But yeah, I mean that was a bummer just because I love haunted mansions so much, but at least we could still ride. That was the silver lining.
yeah.
Um,
There was a lot of stuff shut down or covered up, or there was a lot of construction going on at
yeah.
that point. Like, I know today I saw, because now that I did Disney recently, I'm just flooded with
Mhm.
like social media of Disney stuff. But I just saw that the um,
Big
the roller
Thunder.
coaster, yeah,
Yeah.
that's starting to open up back up and run
Yeah,
today.
today's its first day back. It's been closed
Yeah,
for over a year. I
yep,
was hoping it would be back open when we went because it was closed when we went last year. So like
yeah, yeah,
it was closed 2 consecutive trips and we love that. That's my daughter's favorite ride in all
yeah.
of Disney. So she was bummed, but like we usually ride that 3 or 4 times every trip and
Oh
like
yeah,
it's weird that we haven't been able to do it for 2 trips now.
right. Yeah, and we never have because our first trip was last
Yeah,
summer. So yeah, that's
that's a
something
bummer.
I'll be looking forward to next time. And yeah, we did. Yeah, so the first thing we did after like Gaston's and that stuff, like basically like when that side of the park opened up, was we went to Haunted Mansion. That was like our first
Mhm.
one. And then we had lightning lanes for like kind of a bunch of other stuff. And then yeah, so this is a good time to talk about that. Like, I found it tricky to plan with lightning lanes on a with park hopping, like because we had planned reservations and stuff, and one of the big ones was we never rode Slinky Dog this time
Mhm.
because when I booked when I had planned it out, I had a an Epcot dinner in the afternoon. So our second half of the day was at Epcot, and our first half of the day was at Hollywood. And when I went right online and like was doing the lightning lanes, the multi pass, and there was nothing earlier than like 6 o'clock for
Yeah.
Slinky Dog, and so I just couldn't book it. I had to like completely on the fly like rethink my plan for doing those lightning lanes, because it would have thrown everything else off for the day for the plan. So that was really tricky. And then there were because it was so busy, there was a lot. It was a little harder to like catch when they open up. You know what I mean? I found myself constantly refreshing and trying to like grab a lightning lane later at a thing. So that yeah, it's definitely a lot more complex and tricky once you're park hopping. But if I had said, okay, that first day is going to be a whole day of Hollywood Studios, that totally would have been fine at 6 o'clock, and we would have had that there reserved for us. But yeah, one of those little things. It's just like a little tricky.
Yeah. There are certain things that like you almost have to have a lightning lane for it or it's just going to be painful or impossible.
Yeah, and
And
it'll just
Slinky
chew up
Dog is one of
time where
those
you could be
things.
riding other things, like
Yeah.
a lot of other things. Like yeah. So let's shift over to Hollywood Studios.
Mhm.
So we started our day in Galaxy's Edge, and then we were like, we got through a couple things. Like we did Rise. Um, we we walked on to Rise, and did we do the Falcon? We did a couple things there, and then we were like, oh, let's go check Slinky Dog. So we walked over there, and the line, it was just insane already. It was like
Yeah.
super early in the morning. It was already nuts. So the good thing about that though is we didn't have a lightning lane for the Toy Story Mania, the other one where you shoot stuff,
Mhm.
and that had no line because Slinky Dog was packed. So we were just like, oh, let's do this. We're right here. Let's just ride that. So that kind of worked out that way. But yeah, we never got
Yeah.
a chance to ride Slinky Dog. We did for this was my first time doing Tower of Terror,
Mhm.
which is awesome. That ride
Yeah,
is
I love it.
super cool.
Yeah.
It's not as mild as some people were trying to make it out. Like my sister-in-law, like people were trying to talk her into going onto it. Like my brother-in-law was trying to talk her to go onto it, and because he felt it was like mild enough for her. I was
Mhm.
like, oh, this is going to be a pretty mild ride. It's pretty intense. Like, I don't know if we had one that was dropping like extra or whatever,
Yeah.
but like it was a pretty intense ride. It was a lot of fun. I love stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
I
cool.
I was never like an intense ride kid, growing up. I
Mm-hmm.
never rode a roller coaster until I was like, I think my senior year of high school was probably my first time I ever rode a roller coaster. So like I spent my childhood like building up a lot of those things. Like I remember when when I was a kid, we went to Disney one time, and I wouldn't ride it. Like my dad and my sister rode it, and I was like, no, you're not getting me on Tower of Terror. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And so like I feel like my whole life I've been building it up to be this thing. And then a couple of years ago, my wife and I went by ourselves for a trip, just a weekend trip. And she was like, I want to ride Tower of Terror. We never get to do it. Let's go do it. And I was like, all right, cool. And I thought that it was really mild, compared to what I had built it up to be in my
Right.
mind. But
Yeah.
I do think it's ridiculously fun, and I regret
Oh
not
yeah.
doing it like my whole life. Like, so I
Yeah.
kind of, I think my daughter would love it, but she still refuses to ride it. But every time, like I said, I don't want to like coerce her to like do something she's uncomfortable with.
Yeah.
But the last few times we've gone, I have been like, hey, I genuinely think that you will absolutely love this ride if you do it,
Yeah.
but she's not there yet, which is fine. But I know one day she's going to tell people that's her favorite ride.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is. It's really fun.
It's so much fun. The lot the waiting in line is really cool. There's a lot of cool stuff in there.
Mhm.
Just that you're in the belly of the works of the hotel, and it's the whole vibe of it. The Twilight Zone theming, like
Yeah.
all that stuff is it's just a lot of fun. It was super cool.
I love, like, that's another ride that's like very rich with like Imagineering, like everything in that queue, everything in the ride itself is like meticulously researched and planned, and everything is there for a reason.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool. I love the one of the little like tricks where it's like, if or whatever. And you might know this, but when you go into the pre-show room, I think there's two pre-show rooms. There's one on the right and one on the left. There's like an itinerary thing in the middle that's like the plastic board with the letters on it.
Mm-hmm.
There's letters missing on it, and if you walk up to it and look at the bottom where the letters have fallen, it says "Take the stairs,"
Oh,
which I
interesting.
always thought
I
was just like, yeah, it's a really cool
nice.
bit of just like Imagineering, like, yeah.
Right.
So like that just strategically removed the letters to make them look like they had fallen out, but it just, at the bottom of it, you look down, it says "Take the stairs."
That's funny.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got some comments here. Tower is awesome. Had to do it in Paris because Disneyland is now Guardians.
Is it no, it's Shanghai. I think the Tower of Terror is like, they make it the story wise like super terrifying, like nightmare inducing, terrifying.
okay.
Yeah.
Tower of Terror is named appropriately. Gonna be hitting. Oh, nice for Star Wars Day. That's gonna be packed.
That'll be fun.
It'll be fun though.
We were. One cool thing about our Magic Kingdom Day, going back, we were there on April Fool's Day.
Yeah.
And like, we didn't notice too much, but we did think it was interesting. We rode Haunted Mansion, and like, it's not uncommon to see like some of the guys that work there like wearing dresses or whatever. Like that's fine, but like every guy was wearing a dress. And my wife was like, "It's April 1st. Like this has to be." They're yanking their chains, but like, yeah, like there was like 20 guys working Haunted Mansion, and every single one was in a dress. It was just funny.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I will say, I respect the hell out of all of the cast members. Like those people work their asses off. Like there's so much like commitment to just like the spirit of it all, and just I'm always impressed with just how hard those people are working.
Yeah, they're awesome.
We had so like I said, so keeping up with Hollywood Studios, we had on our last day, it was like our evening, and we had a reservation for Brown Derby that was tied to some tickets to have like preferential seating, right? Basically, like there's a section in the center, like up and down the center, that is like the best seats. It was actually awesome, and in fact, we were too close.
Yeah,
like we could have sat further back, and I probably would have done that. Sat further back because like you get that mist coming off of like.
Yeah, I wondered if you were gonna get wet as close as you were.
But like it's a whole up and down row, so you don't have to sit up that close. Like you can sit further back.
Right on.
But our waiter had been working there for 12 years, and he was like, and we were like, wow, 12 years. He's like, yeah, I know people who have been here for 30 years. Like. People, their career Disney, professionals, essentially.
That's cool.
He was talking about there's like a special place above the Brown Derby. There's like a special, like super, super VIP. I don't know if it's for like super wealthy people or, famous people or what, but there's like a super VIP, totally unrelated to Brown Derby as a restaurant, but like this completely separate place upstairs that like even like employees don't ever even get to see.
That might be their Club 33 location. I think there's one at every park.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
that might be it.
That's like, yeah, you have to pay for a membership, and it's like tens of thousands of dollars a year to be able to get in there. Yeah.
Yeah,
how was Brown Derby?
It was awesome. The food was really good. Again, you don't really drink, but like we had some cocktails that were awesome. I had an old fashioned, I think. It was really good. The food was great. My daughter had a piece of cake that was like, it was like this big. It was like 8-layer chocolate cake, a slice of chocolate cake. I'll show you the picture later.
Yeah, that sounds great.
It's funny. Yeah, everything was really good.
We've never been there. That's one that we've thought about, but we've just never done it.
I honestly think that it's expensive. It's pricey. It's a prefix menu, and it's $80 per person. And then but I will say this though, that price does include a drink, an alcoholic drink. So that's actually kind of cool element of it for people who do drink. Because usually it's not like when we did and we'll get to this later, but we did the Space 220. There was not a drink included. But that was kind of a good part of it. But yeah, it's expensive. Like when you check out of there with 7 people, like holy shit, the bill is intense.
I can imagine, yeah.
But when you calculate like the multi, what do you call it? The multi-course meal. Drink included, the nice atmosphere sitting down, and then on top of that, you have the preferential seating where you don't have to go wait in line you can just like show up, 20 minutes before and then go to the Phantasmic thing. And have great seats, because last year our seats were garbage. We were so far
Yeah.
to the side, and we were in the back. I call it the bleachers, because we were like
Yeah.
behind, essentially, like way up in the back, and it was tough. Couldn't see anything. So having those seats and not having to wait 2 hours or whatever was awesome. So yeah, I definitely recommend that. Um,
Yeah. Maybe that's something for us next time.
yeah, but yeah, it was expensive.
Yeah.
And what else about Hollywood? I that's my favorite park, I think. Um,
Yeah.
you know, Galaxy's Edge is so awesome.
Sure.
It's got 3 Star Wars rides. It's you've got Ogas, you've got just the whole like feel of just walking through Galaxy's Edge. Oh, another thing we did was after Phantasmic, and this was another thing I was like, I don't want to do this. Everybody was like, let's go to back to Galaxy's Edge. And I was like, I
Mhm.
am exhausted. It is
Yeah.
like 10 o'clock. I'm so tired. And I'm so glad we did. We hoofed it back over and went to Galaxy's Edge and rode Rise of the Resistance. There
Mhm.
was almost no line. Got to see Galaxy's Edge at night, even if it was just for a little bit.
Mhm.
But I'm so glad we went back over there. That was awesome.
We've done that once before too, where it's like, we could do this, and we ended up doing it and being like, man, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're walking out and it's closed. Like the park is
Mhm.
closed, and there's special paths you're taking to just like walk you right out of there. So you're kind of closing down the park. That was fun.
Yeah, for sure. Our
Um,
Hollywood day was kind of interesting. So like one thing we realized was just because of the waits for everything and the fact that Hollywood Studios doesn't have a lot of attractions to like eat people essentially.
right. Yeah. To take up the
The
space. Yeah.
waits were insane for
Yeah.
everything all the time. And that was like the one time my wife was like, I will never do Hollywood Studios again without multipass. I will not
Right.
do it. I was like,
Yeah.
all right, cool. That makes sense. Like this is
Yeah.
it was miserable. The other
And with the rock and roller coaster down, it's
yeah,
making that congestion even
well, and
more.
Muppets Courtyard is down too. It's all
Yep.
gone. It's getting changed into Monsters Inc., which sucks, but yeah, there's not a lot there, but the stuff that's there is great.
Mm.
It was really hard to get on any, like Star Tours was like 50 minutes, which
Holy
like
crap.
Star Tours is a walk-on ride.
Yeah.
And like,
there was no line anytime.
yeah,
we were
no,
there.
our Hollywood Studios day, it rarely dipped below 50 minutes.
Wow.
The other thing too, like, and this really sucked, and I'm going to be a downer for just a second, but like our Hollywood Studios day, we found out on the way to the park that we had gotten a new emu for our farm, and we found out that she died on our
Oh,
way to the
man.
park. Like we left it in the hands of my wife's sister, which is fine. I think she did everything fine, but emus are really, especially when they're young, they're really sensitive animals. So like I found out what it was like to grieve inside of a Disney park, which is like something new.
Yeah.
So like that was rough. We were there early enough for rope drop for the first time ever, and then we had gotten that news, and we ended up just sitting outside the park for a while and just kind of like regrouping mentally,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we got in and we went straight to Slinky Dog, and it was a 90-minute wait, and we were just in that line, like thinking about this crappy thing that had happened, but it got better.
Yeah.
But it's just a weird experience to have
Yeah.
that. Yeah, like to be at Disney where everything is so magical and amazing, and still like have a bummer of a thing happen to you. And everything's good now. I don't mean to like be a downer, but I think it's just worth mentioning just because of how interesting of an experience that was.
Yeah. Yeah. That's intense.
Yeah, but we did Slinky Dog. It was fine. We ended up we got to do Mickey and Minnie's. We did Tower of Terror. We did do Star Tours when it dipped down to like a half an hour, I think.
Mm-hmm.
We did Rise of the Resistance, but we didn't have time to do. I think that was it. Like we didn't do anything else. Rise of the Resistance was like firing on all cylinders, which was great because last year nothing was working properly on that ride.
Yeah, it was
So,
working
yeah.
for us too. And
Yeah.
last year we did too. One time everything seemed to be working. Although it was my first time, so I don't know
Yeah.
if some things were down. But then the second time through, like Kylo Ren was covered up. Like there was a lot of
Yeah.
stuff that wasn't the pilot was covered up
Yeah.
on that second time. But yeah, everything was going smoothly when we wrote
Yeah.
it. We wrote it twice. Um,
That's good.
so that's one where like the first day of our trip, we rode Rise of the Resistance was the very first thing we did. And then I guess the last day of the trip, it was the very last thing we did too, because it was that night where we had Phantasmic, and then
Yeah.
afterwards we rode Rise. And then
So that's what we do with Haunted Mansion. That's always like the first thing and the last thing we do.
yeah, nice.
Yeah.
That I will say this, like last year, it was a super surprise favorite of mine, and we rode it again this time, and I love it. I love Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Train. I think that's such a fantastic ride, and I'm dying to do Remy's. We didn't get to do Remy's. I know
Oh,
it's like a
yeah.
similar kind of thing, but we didn't. That's one we didn't get to do. We'll go to Epcot in a minute, but a funny story about our Mickey and Minnie's. While we were eating, and I don't know why this is, but like while that rainstorm happened, our lightning lane for Runaway Train was canceled because Runaway Train was shut down.
Interesting.
We're eating dinner and Runaway Train is shut. We were like, okay, we're gonna go to Runaway Train after dinner, and it was shut down. And we're like, oh crap, what the heck? But then you get a wide open lightning lane.
Right.
Slinky Dog wasn't available, but Runaway Train opened back up again, so we were able to just rebook Runaway Train, and we ended up doing it anyways. So,
Yeah.
but I think that ride has so much charm. It's such a fun ride, and just a lot of like cool visual elements and things going on.
I agree. I really liked the ride that was there before, and I know that's like a huge point of contention with a lot of Disney people. Was that ride replaced
was
the
it?
great? It was the Great Movie Ride. So
Okay.
you went through basically different scenes from classic films. They had like animatronics and stuff, but then there was like a storyline essentially where like it could go one of two ways. There's a lot of explaining to it, so I won't do it now. But basically, your ride vehicle gets hijacked by either a cowboy or a mafia member.
Mm-hmm.
And so like the whole ride, you're going through these scenes of the movies, and your tour guide is like a mafia guy or whatever. And he's like interacting with the scenes, and it's crazy. But I mean, like you go through like a scene from Alien, which like was terrifying. There was a big Wizard of Oz like climax to it, but you went through like Casablanca and like Singing in the Rain and
That sounds
Mary
amazing.
Poppins and stuff. It was really, really cool, and it's a huge bummer that it's not there anymore. But I do really like Mickey and Minnie's. It's a really cool ride. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it, I think, for that.
One last thing with sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
I was going to say one last thing with Hollywood Studios. There's a villains show. I don't know if you watched any shows, but
No.
there's a show. It's really cheesy, but it's called like Unfairly Ever After or whatever, where it's like Cruella de Vil, Maleficent, and Captain Hook, and you basically like vote. They have like a song and dance thing, and then you vote on like who is the most misunderstood villain, and then they win, and they like come out and do like an encore or whatever. But the interesting thing about that is the main YouTube channel that my family watches for Disney is called allears.net. That's like, we don't watch TV, but like we watch allears.net, like as a family, and they do like games and stuff in the parks or whatever. But one of the guys on that YouTube channel plays Captain Hook in that show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Nice. So, when we watched the show, he came out and he was Captain Hook, and we were like, oh, it's Sage from All Ears. He's Captain Hook. So it was almost like meeting like a family, like celebrity, you know. Yeah. We didn't meet him, but he was like 15 feet in front of us on a stage, like performing, which was just
cool.
It's
a
kind of
YouTube Disney channel that has an insider that has a Disney cast member as one of the hosts.
Yeah.
Are they all Disney cast members, or I'll have to check that
Most of
out.
them, if not all of them, have been at one point of their lives, but he's the only one that currently
Right.
is like part of. He does a lot of the live stuff. Like when they had Galactic Star Cruiser, he was a cast member on that too.
Oh, cool.
And there's been some other ones too. But it's like he's like an on again, off again kind of guy. He's not always employed. But yeah, right now he's the Captain Hook in that show. So it is kind of interesting to get that side of things too.
Cool. Yeah, the one other thing I was going to say is I did get a Ronto rap for the first time, and that was really good. That actually was like I was kind of like, oh, I don't know, but yeah, it was awesome. We had
Was
that,
it the
and then
breakfast one? You went
no, it was the regular
okay.
one. It didn't have. What does the breakfast one have? Eggs on it or anything? Something?
Yeah.
Or what? Yeah. No, this was regular.
I've only
That's
ever
your
had the
go-to,
breakfast
right?
one, but yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So then finally Epcot.
Yeah.
And like again, we started our day one at Hollywood Studios and ended it at Epcot. And then we did a lunch, a middle day where we park hopped 3 times. We did a middle day on our last day at Epcot. And so our first day we had Guardians single pass Lightning Lane. And then after that we had dinner. And a couple other rides booked on the multi-pass. So Guardians is, you're right. You were right. It's incredible. It is just an absolute gem of a ride. It's so much fun. The music's great. Like it is such a good ride. And I got to ride it twice because my brother-in-law was not feeling well, and he knew that if he rode it, it might make him kind of sick. So I grabbed his band and I took it. Everybody else. So this is the only thing that happened though, was I had to miss Soarin' because everything was tight. We had our dinner reservation, and the rest of the family went over to Soarin' to go ride that, and I grabbed his thing and rode Guardians again, and I didn't make it back in time to ride Soarin'. So I did miss out on Soarin', but I was more than happy to ride. I basically rode, because it was 2 Lightning Lanes, I rode Guardians just 2 times in a row, pretty much back to back.
That's awesome.
And it was so much fun.
What songs did you get?
The first time when the whole family was on, it was September, Earth, Wind, and Fire. And then the second time, it was Tears for Fears.
Yeah. That's my
Yeah.
favorite. Yeah.
It was good. It's fun. So it'll be fun to go and try to see if I can, next time see what the other songs are like riding that.
Yeah.
But
I think I've
it
experienced all
changes
of them
the
at this
vibe.
point. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Our cool, I'm just now realizing we had kind of like a magical moment in like every park, but like our cool thing with Epcot was we had after hours. So we were there 2 hours after the park closed. It was still a long line, but we got in that line like right before 11 o'clock at night. Sorry. And that's another one that my daughter just will not ride. So we always do a rider swap on it. So my wife and my son will ride it, and then I'll go back in with my son, and then we get to ride it while my wife hangs out with my daughter. And so we went right before the park closed for after hours and got in line. And it was like maybe, I don't think we waited longer than a half an hour, maybe. But, you go through all the pre-show and all that stuff, and then you go through the like loading area. There's like the alarms going off and everything. And you go through that big tunnel and down the steps and into the ride vehicle. So like we do all that. My wife and my son get on it, and then I sit it out with my daughter. They take you to like a special room, and then you swap when they get off. So like we did that, but because we did it at the very end of the night, my son and I were the only 2 people in that entire building.
Nice.
So we went back into the loading area, and there was not a soul other than like 2 cast members, like on either side of the loading area. And they were all kind of like, we thought we were done. Come on, You're like, all right, cool. And they were like, well, where do you want to sit? You know? And my son was like, I want to sit in the front. Like, all right, cool. So we're going to sit in the front. So my son and I rode that. Not only were we in that massive room with no one else in there, which was just crazy, but we were the only people on the entire ride at the very end of the night. Yeah. And it was just crazy knowing that we were the only people in that massive show building, just like enjoying it. Like it was like a personal experience. And it was so cool.
That's awesome.
We got back like when the car like pulls back in the offload station or whatever, the guy was like messing with my son and he was like, where is everybody else? Like, did they not make it? They're still in space. Like, and my son was just cracking up. It was hilarious.
And that's just like another thing. Like the cast members are just like all in, you know, they're all in.
Yeah. That's funny.
Trying to think of other things at Epcot. The spaceship Earth is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was great. What else? Let's see. It was packed. Like it especially felt packed. Like walking through the pavilions. There was just like long line, and I guess this is. You know, we made the mistake of thinking we could go there for lunch on a Saturday.
Yeah.
But like, like there was just lines for every single thing, just long lines everywhere. But we made it through. I think the only thing is we just didn't get to see as many of the, like, kind of like dive into as many of the pavilions because of all that time waiting in those lines. But so Japan, we did a lot of time there. The kids loved the store. With all the import stuff in there.
I got this guy there. They had these gachapon machines.
Yeah.
And I got these little Gundam guys. I got like 4 of them, but I've only built this one so far. But they were fun.
Nice. Yeah, I saw those machines. Like little, kind of like sort of like outside right there.
Yeah.
Like when you're coming out of that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was when I spilled the beer on me, and I was like, so my brother-in-law bought a crap load of sushi, and like it was just this feast of sushi lunch, and we were just like, me, him, and my nephew were sitting there, and the rest of them were meeting us because my other nephew was like dead set on riding Mission Space, and like he rode it twice, and we just waiting, so we kind of got a head start, and the feast of just like sushi was amazing, and like I was just passing a napkin and I just spilled my beer. It was like a full beer, and I just like spilled it all over myself. And I had waited in this long line, and it was a specific beer. It was at the kiosk in the German pavilion, and I was just like really looking forward to this beer after like a long morning at Magic Kingdom. And it just spilled all over me. Got my shorts all wet. One of my socks, and I had just dried off. Like I said earlier, I pretty much had just dried off from Tiana's. But when you're covered in beer, it's like you don't want to reek like beer all day. Yeah. And I was like, I think I gotta go back to the hotel. I think I gotta do that. And it was gonna just like, you know, I would have had to go back to the hotel and then meet them for dinner at Hollywood, but I realized I could go to the bathroom, and I'm this weirdo my most comfortable thing is socks and sandals when I'm walking that much. Like my socks and sandals turned out to be like the most comfortable thing. So I was able to go like just to the bathroom and like rinse my socks off. I had some some wipes that are soapies wipes or whatever. And I was able to like get all of the beer off of my shorts, and those dried quickly. And like, so I had a wet sock for a little while, but other than that, it kind of worked out. Like I was able to like work through that issue.
That's good.
And not get frustrated and just like, just deal with it and like work through it. And I did not have to go back, but that was, that was a funny moment. Like, so I took a little time to myself to just go like sit, yeah. The pavilions are cool. Like that's a cool area. Like I said, this was our first time at Epcot. I did not get they had the the Japanese beers with the frozen foam. Somebody else had it at the table next to us, and I was picking their brains about it. It didn't sound very. I mean, it it's just foam. Like it's not. I actually would be more likely to get it if it's like flavored or like sweetened or something, or has some kind of creaminess to it. But they were saying it's just literally just frozen foam. It just tastes like beer, so I didn't bother with it. Test track, we did not get to ride.
We did.
Unfortunately.
It was really cool.
Yeah, I want to. I'm
Yeah.
dying to, but the way our days were set up and the way the lightning lanes were working out, there just was nothing opened up for test track, unfortunately.
I wasn't a big fan of the last iteration of that ride, but the new one is much, much better. It's really cool. But that was one where like it said it was like the whole trip, it was like a 2-hour wait at least. I saw it get up towards 3 hours a few times, which is nuts. But we saw it at 50 minutes at one point. So we were like, let's go. Let's do it now. Like this is the lowest it's going to be. And it still ended up, we were probably in line for like an hour and a half, probably.
Wow.
So it took forever. And that queue has nothing. You're just sitting there like, come on, let's go. But the ride itself was very cool. Like, I think that's a very worthy like upgrade to what was there before. It was
Cool.
Really cool.
Yeah, that was one that like I gotta ride it next time. I'll prioritize it, and I'm gonna do things differently. I'll probably, if we do park hopper, I don't think I'll plan it. I don't think I'll plan my park hopping necessarily, or maybe like one day I'll plan it. I'll just consider like this day is dedicated to this park, and I'll do the lightning lanes based on that park, and then I'll work hopping around the lightning lanes rather than like the other way. Like maybe do fewer reservations. Oh, I didn't even talk about Space 220. Which was awesome. Have you ever done that?
No.
Also, very expensive.
Yeah.
But it was pretty cool. The food was really good. I had one of the best desserts I've ever had.
Yeah.
It was like a shell. Like not a pastry, sort of like a pastry, yeah. And it had a hard shell, and it was shaped like Saturn. It had a ring around it. It was like a sphere, and it had a ring around it. And it was basically all like like those strawberry shortcake pop, like those ice cream pops. Like it was basically like that, but like just in a different form. And like it was much more like creamy and delicious, but it was really cool. That was a great dessert. Everybody really liked their food there. And just the vibe and the atmosphere of it all is really nice. I liked it, but again, very expensive. Like that one, and the bill there and the bill at Brown Derby were just like you look at it and you're like, holy crap! Like I've never had a bill like that. Like
and that's the same with
people, but
with all of those sit down restaurants there too. And that's like why I'm cool with like never doing them, but I do think that they're a great experience. And Space 220 is one that we've talked about before, but never actually done. I would like to do it at least once. It's cool that you guys liked it a lot. So
if I had to pick between doing the Brown Derby with the VIP Phantasmic or doing Space 220, I'd pick Brown Derby.
Yeah.
Just the food, I'd say the food was probably equal, but having that VIP, having just that peace of mind of like, I don't have to like wait in a crazy line for Phantasmic was just really nice.
I think my wife would like to do that on a trip, do the Brown Derby to get the preferential seating. She loves Phantasmic. It's one of her favorite things there.
Yeah. And like the theming is totally different between the two, but I would say both are awesome theming, like in those restaurants.
Our favorite thing,
I guess this is a good
sorry,
point. The frozen foam keeps it colder in Florida. Sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
I was going to say our favorite thing at Epcot is in France, there's a bakery called Léal, and like everything there is like mind-blowingly good. So we always go there every trip. We almost like skip a meal in favor of like going there and just getting a bunch of like little snacky things and sharing them. That's like something we will not miss on a trip.
Nice. Yeah, that's another thing about when you do a dinner reservation, it's very expensive and you're getting a lot of food and you're eating a large meal. And it's
Mhm.
like, you got to kind of like not eat leading up to it, like not
Yeah.
eat that much leading up to it. So you're kind of missing out on the little snacky things like that. Like if you're going to kind of,
Yeah.
if you're going to really like enjoy your meal, you don't want to be stuffed when you get to your meal. So there is something to be said about just kind of grazing all day,
Yeah. And Epcot's a good park to do that at.
Yeah.
I usually like to do that. Just get something little at the different
Mhm.
kiosks and stuff.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things there is outside of Canada. They make poutine, and it's
Mhm.
so good, but it was closed this year.
Ah,
It
bummer.
was such a bummer. Yeah.
Oh.
But I think it's coming back. I think they're like revamping it somehow or something. But
I feel like I walked by somebody eating poutine.
yeah.
Maybe. I thought, but there might be another place that has poutine, like maybe at another park. I feel like I remember poutine somewhere.
There is a poutine place at Disney Springs also.
Oh, that's where it was. Yep, that's
Yeah.
right. Victoria and Albert's is an amazing experience, and the food is fantastic. I have been twice, but it is worth it. I don't know where that is. Victoria and Albert's. Is that a park? Is that in a park, or is that at like Disney Springs, or?
I'm not familiar with that one.
We did do.
My wife says Grand Floridian from the other
okay.
room.
Okay. And that's like a one of the fancier hotels, right?
Yes.
We did eat at Rainforest Cafe at Disney Springs, which was okay. Just like just like kind of a fun atmosphere or whatever. Did it once. I don't know that I would ever need to do that again. And but last year we ate at Disney Springs. We had Haleo, which is what's the chef's name? Chef can't think of his name now. The Spanish chef, but famous Spanish chef who does a lot of humanitarian stuff. It's a tapas place. It is fantastic. Somebody Jose Andres, that's who it is. I want to go back to that. We didn't do it this year, but like I would totally go back to that again next year. Maybe like when we're not 7, because that also expensive, but that was really good.
That's awesome.
Anything else at Epcot? Let me think here. Yeah, we didn't get to ride Remy's. That was like we really wanted to do that. Lines were just always too long, and just it never opened up on Lightning Lanes. And then
We did
same
it. It
thing
was
with,
good.
Was it? Yeah.
They got rid of the 3D aspect of it, and it is better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was better.
Cool. How would you compare it to Mickey and Minnie's?
Mickey and Minnie's is much better, in my
Okay.
opinion.
Right.
Remy's is fun, but they kind of use the same system, so I think that's why they get compared. Like they have that trackless ride system. Remy's is like they make it seem like it's really fast paced. Like the ride vehicle is a rat,
Yeah.
and they make it seem like the rat is like running the whole time, but really you're just kind of in front of screens the whole time. Kind of like certain parts of Mickey and Minnie's, like the part of Mickey and Minnie's where you're like on the river and then you go over the waterfall.
Yeah, you're in the rapids.
That's how Remy's is like the whole time, basically.
Right. Okay.
And it's fun, but like if I had to compare the two, like I would do Mickey and Minnie's all day over Remy.
Right. So it's not as dynamic and like with a lot of different things as Mickey and Minnie's. Yeah.
No.
And then the other one we wanted to do that was actually recently refreshed was the Frozen one. But again, we never could catch any sort of lightning lanes, and the lines were just too long. And we packed it in, so we just didn't have a lot of opportunity to wait in 90-minute lines. Just didn't work out for us.
We did get to do that one too, and again, like it is much better than how it used to be.
Nice.
Yeah, like night and day with how believable it is being on there. It's always weird seeing projector face people on rides. Like they still have like the 7 dwarves are that way on Mine Train, and it always kind of throws me off. But yeah, the Frozen's much better with the actual animatronics.
Good. That's awesome. All right, let's do the giveaway. We got 42, which is
Wow.
funny because I think people are coming and going because it's almost impossible to get like close to like 90% participation rate on these, and that's pretty much where we are right
Yeah.
now. So it's been so long since we announced it. Let me remind people. It's actually, I'll go like this for a second. It's a Glyos kind of package of a few things. So we've got the Stormtrooper themed Infinite Fade In, and then sort of like the pilot themed, just classic Fade In, and a couple other little baggies. And so that is the giveaway. You can get your entries in. Go back here, and I'll draw that. I think we're 43. I think we're pretty much maxed out. It's funny to see 43 entries and 43 viewers. Can we get more entries than viewers here? No, don't stop watching this. 44. Give it one more. 30 more seconds. But yeah, I'm like, you get they offer you the bounce back thing.
I've never gotten one. It's so frustrating.
You have it. And if you go into your Disney account, I don't know if you have an account on, like, if you go to your Disney account and you go and you look for packages, you'll see it. The problem is it's this calendar year. So if you try to find options for next April, you won't have them.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to book for any time in 2026, you'll see an option, I forget what it's called. It's like visit again or something like that. I've gotten an email. Last year I got an email.
Yeah.
But this year I didn't get any email. I was like, where is it? So I went in and I went and like I picked a hotel and all that stuff and then a package or whatever. And I picked like August. I was like, oh, I wonder what August would be like for prices for that. Because that's what we did last year. And it's there. Like it's there as one of those options across the top.
We got to look. My wife and I have been talking, like, we're so frustrated because everyone always talks about those bounce back offers and we have never gotten one.
If you're looking at, if you're looking at just booking next April, it'll never be there because it's for 2026. So if you go in, don't start by clicking offers, just go in and like pick a hotel and like pick your number of people and your dates and all that stuff. And then it will give you options across the top. It'll be like summer deals or stay 4 days and get this, it'll give you those ones. And then one of those options will be visit again or something along those lines. And it should be there.
I think my wife's trying to find it.
She's doing it now.
No, she just said no.
It's not there.
Well, I think she's just not looking.
Not doing it. Oh, because I was the same thing. I was like, where is it? I want to just see. I just want to see the prices. But because I want to book probably April again, like it's just not gonna be an option. But my understanding is if you book early enough, you're gonna catch between the time you book and the time you go, you're gonna catch one of those other deals that is gonna be roughly equal. To it.
She really wants to. We've never experienced Christmas, so that's like the next big thing that she wants to do.
Nice. Yeah, that would be cool. Like go at Christmas or just go like sometime in December.
Well, like when they're doing the Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
Like I don't know about actually being there for Christmas. That would, like, I don't. Her birthday is the busiest 23rd, and my birthday is Christmas Day. So Christmas is always nuts for us.
Right.
So I can't see being there for that, but just to be able to experience the Christmas events and things like that.
And they say like it's not too bad, like early December, like after Thanksgiving, between Thanksgiving and Christmas, they say it's a pretty good time to go. Probably a little colder, but probably a good time to go in terms of crowds.
Yeah.
All right, we got 45. I'm going to spin this thing in 3, 2, 1. Good luck. And if you win, as usual, email me at podcast@dorklair.com or message me on social media and Twizzler.
Hey.
Nice. Congrats, dude. So just hit me up and I'll get that out. I'll get you tracking tonight and I'll ship that out tomorrow. So nice.
Awesome. That's a
Awesome,
nice
dude.
package.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's, again, thank you to Ben Gillespie, Ben G, for hooking that up. And we got some more to do. He also,
It's awesome.
so maybe like I'm gonna have a Toy Pizza Expo kind of preview with Jesse DeStasio coming up soon. So maybe we'll do some of the other ones then. But we've
Nice.
got a Mammoth Monster, a Insectivorian, and Armorvore.
Oh, really
the
cool.
Gold. So that'll be like
Yeah.
one set. And then
That's awesome.
I don't even know. I haven't even looked through this bag yet. It looks like
Oh,
looks like some,
those are great. I have
Yeah.
those.
yeah, from what do you call it? Cappy. Okay. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. Awesome, Ben.
I'd love to make it to that Toy Pizza Expo. It sounds like fun.
It's small. It's a tough, it's a tough to travel to it. Last year it was big because it was 5 Points Fest and Toy Pizza Expo. This year it's going to be back to just Toy Pizza Expo, but it's very much small, like, makers doing, whether it's little vinyl things or some 3D printed figures or, just art, like just different kinds of like artists doing stuff like that.
That sounds awesome.
And in the kind of like the Squire, it's all like the Squires of the Slice, all the Patreon members in the like Toy Pizza Knights of the Slice Patreon community in the Discord. So pretty cool. It's a fun time.
Yeah. That's been cool being a part of that. I'm kind of new to that Patreon, but it's very cool. I love being able to support someone in that way.
Yeah.
The only frustrating thing about me and Glios is that I'm the second Eric Miller in the community.
Oh, that's right.
So recently our orders have been getting sent like to the other person. And like, so my last Patreon got sent to him. And then I did a spaced out order like a month ago when they did the guy that's like green, yellow, and blue. The what's it? I forget what they call it. Not Geodraxis, the other one.
The Valgarian?
Yes, that.
Yeah.
And I received the other Eric Miller's order. So we've been figuring things out. But yeah, it's just kind of
your
funny.
Doppelganger.
Yeah. I feel bad too because I'm the problem because he was there way before.
Right.
Yeah.
Where is the other Eric Miller? Like what part of the country? Do you know?
He's in like Oklahoma or something.
Oh, okay.
Like, not anywhere near me.
Oh, that's funny.
Let me get the last, invoice. I'll read off his address on screen.
Cinderella's Castle Lights show on at Christmas is incredible.
Yeah.
From Simone. Nice. All right. Well, thank you.
I'm glad people seem to enjoy these streams. Like, it's obviously fun for me. Like, I could talk about this stuff forever. But it's cool that people come in and, they're adding their opinions on things and interacting. That's fun.
Yeah, I mean, 2 hours. I don't even usually do my regular show for 2 hours. You know? But it's nice to like I always want to talk about it, like talk through it and stuff. And like my wife gets a little bored with it, even like talking through like it's just only so much you can do. But it's fun to like hear other people, hear for me to hear your experience and just compare notes and essentially like kind of learn how to make my experience even better next time.
When I told my wife I was going to do the stream, she was like, "So am I invited?" It's like
maybe we gotta get the family on next time.
It's so funny in that way. I think she might get a little in the moment. She might freeze up maybe, but she could talk Disney. If you have her on, like prepare for 2 hours.
All right. Well, next time, this time next year. I mean, assuming we're both gonna go again.
Yeah.
We'll have family on next time.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah. I mean, at the bare minimum, we got to hang out and just talk Disney, like one of the nights at Legion's Con, just chill out and talk Disney.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Appreciate everybody watching and participating. And I'm trying to think of the date. So we did Thursday. So this coming week, there's no DORKLAIR. The week after, I think it's the 14th, and then the 28th. One of those two will be the Jesse DeStasio one. We haven't picked which date it's going to be, but that'll be that. And you guys just dropped an enablers. Oh no, you guys you're doing one tonight, so you'll have an enablers tomorrow.
I'm recording again here in just a couple hours with them, and we'll have a new episode tomorrow.
Drink some tea or something to get your voice.
Yeah, I'm already kind of.
It's a lot of talking. Yeah.
Goodness. Luckily, on that show, there's 5 of us, and I'm the one that talks the least, so
right.
I'll probably be okay.
Totally. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching, and until next time, may the force be with you.
Follow me into the joy.